Good afternoon, friends. Mark Holmes here. As always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Okay, so it is the 10th of June. It's Hump Day, and the NFL is still feeling their way through trying to figure out how they're going to have a season. We know that they're basically doing away with regular OTAs and off-season workouts and stuff, and they're beginning the process of starting to open up the facilities to players. Technically, players aren't supposed to be back before the 26th of June. Although they're looking at being able to allow certain players able to come back to the facilities sooner. You've already heard that 6-foot distance, mask inside the facilities, and yada, 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 to make sure that they're safe as possible before the 26th. So if you're like a new player to a team, so they can get you in and check out if you got any injuries and things like that. If you had like surgery in the off season, you've had injuries and things, that you'll be able to come in, rehab, and be evaluated and figure forward how you're going to go, because training camp is going to be accelerated. Now what they've done is they put a cushion into the schedule where they can adjust and basically have to be able to move on the fly. They need to move the season down later, starting it later and stuff. They're going to be able to do that. They'll do away with the bye week or the week between the Super Bowl. That gives them 2 weeks right there. They do not want to miss any games regular season wise. But when you think that the players basically are really not getting together until middle of July, they're looking and saying that this may end up being a shortened preseason to 2 games. Now, already understand with the new collective bargaining agreement with having another game, they were already looking at shortening the preseason to begin with, that this will just be starting that process earlier. And this will give them some more time to adjust to the new life of the coronavirus and how to proceed with the players. But what this also means, which is I pretty much assumed that this was going to be the case anyway, that the Hall of Fame game, I just don't see how you can have that happen. I don't see how you can start the process of just getting players back in the middle of July and then turn around in the first week of August, have a preseason game, especially if you're talking about getting rid of 2 preseason games, unless they plan on moving that forward. The other part of the whole Hall of Fame game and the Hall of Fame presentation is, I don't know that you bring elder players together at the Hall of Fame for an induction ceremony. Most of the players, a lot of them are older, a lot of having underlying issues and so forth, older generation. I just don't see that as a possibility. And as much as we as Cowboy fans would like to be able to have that early start of the season playing against the Steelers, it's going to be one of those things that if something has to go, it's better to let the Hall of Fame game go, because it's really, starters aren't playing that. It's really a meaningless game. It's more of just, it's not even an exhibition. It's just kind of like, yeah, we'll just put something on and say it's the Hall of Fame game. So, they're working the system. They're trying to get this thing figured out on how they're going to be able to do it. But as I pointed out before, as colleges are beginning to get started in things and trying to get that schedule together, we've already heard from the NCAA saying that some teams may not be putting a team out on the field this year. And the NCAA is already talking about having their season done by Thanksgiving, which means that their season may be shortened as well. So that's also another opportunity for the NFL to put more games on Saturdays, because they've already stated that if the NCAA is not playing on Saturdays, they will take up the airline, the blogosphere, take up the slack, so to speak. So feel good that at least they're trying to figure out a way that we can have a season, one way or the other. And let's hope it happens. just trying to. It's great that they're saying that, in the locker room you're going to be 6 feet apart. You got to wear a mask, but you got to understand, football is a contact sport. Football is you are running full speed, running and taking somebody to the ground. You're going to be breathing, spitting, sweating. I just don't understand how you can alleviate that in football. I mean, unless people are going to be playing in a diving suit and, or I don't know. I just don't know how you can minimize the amount of contact that you have in social distance with football. It may end up just having to be one of those things that you look at as a high-risk occupation. If you're a lumberjack, a tree could fall on you. If you work on a crabbing boat in the Arctic, there's a good chance you're going to get hit with one of these big-ass pots or fall your ass into the water. There's some jobs that that there's going to be a risk in order to do it. And this, I look at, has always been one of those jobs that's a high-risk job. From broken bones and broken backs and concussions, that this is just added to the hazard of playing in the NFL. Yeah, it's a new age. All right, y'all. Headed back to the Ponderosa. You can see in the back window there, got about 80 board feet of wood, so the Black Star has already been put to work because we got work to do. Hope you guys are having a great hump day, and I will catch you all on the flip side. Be safe.